Well, hello there, Skywinders. Welcome back to another episode of Skywind007. On today's episode, we have this right here. This is the SPARQ OBDII reader from SPARQ. And this is actually a Kickstarter project, you know, that crowdfunding kind of thing. And I bought it. I had my doubts about it at first because I didn't know if it was legit, because you have to go directly to their website, SPARQ. And I was not sure if it was legit or a scam, but it turns out it is legit. So I was worried that I was going to pay and I was going to get nothing in return, but I did get this, of course. And I paid $20, exactly $20 even, 20.00. And everything was included, shipping, tax, everything, $20 even. So this is what I got. And when you get it out of the box, it's very nice. It's kind of like unpacking an iPhone or a smartphone. And you know, it comes with a box. The instructions, well, you don't really need them. And of course the device itself. And if I pull it out, I know you can't tell, but this is actually aluminum. This is some sort of high-grade aluminum. And it's very, very nice. So I never seen an OBDII reader that was made of metal. Everything is made of plastic these days, and all the readers are plastic, but this is metal. Now this part right here is plastic. I guess they can't make it out of metal because there's electricity going through it. So you can't use metal where the electricity goes through. You have to use plastic. But the rest of the body is metal, and this lights up right here. And now we're going to go to the garage and we're going to test it out. So let's go. Okay, folks, so this right here is a 2014 Ford Escape. And this is one of those cars that never doesn't have a code. It always has a code. So let's test it on this. Okay, so let's plug it in like this. Okay, so let's power up the app. And the cool thing about this thing is that you can run a scan and pick up all the codes, and then you can go indoors and work from there. You don't have to be out here in the heat. I'm in Texas, so it does get very hot. So we're already here. As you can see, I have already added a car. The first time you launch the app, you have to do a setup process. It takes a while, maybe 3 minutes. And then you have to go up here where it says Ford Escape. You click that down arrow, and you on the top right you see that plus sign. That's where you add a vehicle. So I have already added several vehicles. I've been testing this. So let's stay with the Ford Escape and let's perform a health check. So let me click on this red arrow, and right now it's performing the health check and it's picking up all the codes. So that's really all we need. Once this is done, we can disconnect everything, go indoors, and work from there. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, 100%. Okay, we are indoors, and you're going to hear a different tone in my voice because I'm using a different microphone. So we have the Ford Escape right here. And let's click down here on the bottom right where it says Vehicle Health Status. And let's go all the way down to Diagnostic Data. And again, we're here with the issues that were found. Let's go to the moderate ones. And let's click on, let's see, this bottom one right here. The engine coolant bypass valve. And let's click there.
How can I help you with your vehicle today?
What's wrong with my vehicle?
Your vehicle's health score is currently 42, which is on the lower side. There are a few trouble codes that popped up, mainly related to engine coolant temperature and the catalytic converter efficiency. How would you like to proceed?
Which component is broken down on my car?
Based on the trouble codes, it looks like you might have an issue with the engine coolant system. There's also a problem with the catalytic converter efficiency and the coolant bypass valve. The active grill air shutter motor also seems to have lost communication. so it's mainly cooling and emission-related components that might be having trouble. Let me know if you'd like to look into repair options or further diagnostics.
So what does that bypass valve do?
The coolant bypass valve helps regulate the flow of coolant through the engine to maintain the right temperature. It directs coolant either through the engine or helps bypass it to warm things up faster or cool it more efficiently. When it's not working properly, the engine can overheat or not warm up correctly, which can cause performance issues or more serious damage over time.
Where is this valve located?
A coolant bypass valve is typically located near the engine, often attached to the cooling system hoses or the thermostat housing. In your Escape, it's likely positioned toward the front of the engine bay where the coolant lines run. It's not always easy to access without removing some components, so it's usually a job for a mechanic if you need to get it replaced or checked out.
Will I have to drain the coolant to change this component?
Yes, you usually need to drain at least some of the coolant to replace the bypass valve. That way, you avoid coolant spilling everywhere and can work on it more cleanly. After replacing the valve, you'll need to refill the coolant and bleed the system to remove any air pockets.
How much does this bypass valve cost?
Let me find that for you. The bypass valve itself usually costs around $40 to $50. With labor included at a shop, you're looking at about $140 to $250 total. If you do it yourself, you'd mostly just pay for the part. Let me know what direction you want to go.
What kind of tools do I need to change this bypass valve?
For this job, you'll typically need some basic tools: a set of sockets and a ratchet for removing bolts, a screwdriver or two for any hose clamps, and possibly some pliers to help with any stubborn hoses. You might also need a drain pan to catch any coolant that comes out when you remove the valve, and some fresh coolant to top off the system afterward. Overall, it's a pretty straightforward job if you're comfortable working with cooling system components. Let me know if you want any more details.
Can I ask you another question about this car?
Of course, I'm here to help. What do you want to know?
Does this car have a timing belt or a timing chain?
The 2014 Ford Escape with the 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine uses a timing belt, not a timing chain. The timing belt does need to be replaced at regular intervals to avoid any risk of damage, usually around 100,000 miles or so. Let me know if you need more details on that.
What kind of engine oil does this car use?
Your Escape's 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine typically uses full synthetic oil with a viscosity of 5W20. That's the recommended oil type to keep the turbocharged engine running smoothly and efficiently. Let me know if you need anything else.
How often should I change the oil?
For the 2014 EcoBoost engine, it's generally recommended to change the oil every 7,500 miles if you're using full synthetic oil. That's the best interval to keep everything running smoothly and to protect the turbo. If you do a lot of stop-and-go driving or towing, you might want to change it a bit sooner. Let me know if you need more specifics.
What kind of transmission fluid does this car use?
A 2014 Escape with the 1.6-liter EcoBoost typically uses a Mercon LV automatic transmission fluid, which is a low-viscosity fluid. That's the recommended type to keep the transmission shifting smoothly. Let me know if you need advice on when to change it or anything else.
Does Valvoline like the Valvoline Max Life work on this vehicle?
Yes, Valvoline Max Life Full Synthetic ATF is compatible with Mercon LV applications. It's a good option if you're looking for a high-quality fluid that works well with your transmission. Just make sure to follow the correct fluid level and fill procedure for your Escape's transmission. Let me know if you want more details on that.
How often should I change the serpentine belt?
The serpentine belt on your Escape is usually recommended to be replaced around every 100,000 miles. Sometimes it can last longer, but it's good to check it regularly for any cracks, fraying, or wear. If you notice any of that, it's better to replace it sooner. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
How many spark plugs does my car use?
Your Escape has a 1.6-liter four-cylinder engine, so it uses 4 spark plugs, 1 for each cylinder. Let me know if you need any new details or have other questions.
Can I use E85 fuel in this car?
No, your 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine is not designed to run on E85 fuel. It's optimized for regular gasoline, typically up to E10, which is 10% ethanol. Using higher ethanol blends like E85 can cause engine damage and other issues, so it's best to stick with regular gasoline. Let me know if you have any other questions.
What is the recommended tire pressure for this car?
The recommended tire pressure for your Escape is typically around 35 psi for all 4 tires. It's always a good idea to double-check the exact recommended pressure on the sticker inside the driver's door frame or in the owner's manual. But 35 psi is the standard for most driving conditions. Let me know if you need anything else.
Does this car have anti-lock brakes?
Yes, your 2014 Escape comes standard with anti-lock brakes ABS. It's part of the safety features included from the factory to help with braking control, especially in slippery conditions. Let me know if you need more info about it.
Does this car have a CVT transmission?
No, your 2014 Escape does not have a CVT, continuously variable transmission. It comes with a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission. That's the standard setup for the 1.6 EcoBoost engine. Let me know if you have any other details you want to dive into.
What kind of battery does this car use?
The 2014 Escape typically uses a Group 96R battery. It's a standard 12-volt lead-acid battery, though some models with more electronics might use an AGM, absorbent glass mat battery for better performance. Just make sure you get one that meets the recommended cold cranking amps, CCA, for your vehicle. Let me know if you need any more details or recommendations.
What kind of coolant does this car use?
Your Escape uses a specific type of engine coolant, which is typically Motorcraft Orange, or any coolant that meets the Ford specification WSSM97B44D. It's an engine-friendly long-life coolant designed to protect your cooling system from corrosion and overheating. Always stick with the recommended coolant type to avoid any issues. Let me know if you need anything else.
Can you recommend an oil filter for this car?
Sure. For your Escape's 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine, a popular recommendation is the Motorcraft FL910S oil filter. It's the OEM filter designed specifically for Ford engines, so it's a reliable choice. If you prefer aftermarket brands, you can also look into filters from reputable manufacturers like Bosch, Fram, or Wix that match the same specs. Let me know if you'd like more details.
Can you tell me a Fram-compatible filter for this car?
Absolutely. A Fram oil filter that's compatible with your Escape's 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine is the Fram PH361. It's a common match for the engine and provides good filtration. Just make sure to double-check the part number at the auto store to match to your exact model year and engine. Let me know if there's anything else you're curious about.
What kind of Freon does this car use?
Your Escape uses R1234A refrigerant for the air conditioning system. That's the standard refrigerant used in most vehicles from that era. If you ever recharge the system, make sure to stick with that type. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Okay, folks, so we have reached the end of this review, and I'm going to make this part 1 of the SPARQ OBDII reader because I am finding this absolutely fascinating. It's unbelievably helpful. It's not everything, but it's incredible. The AI is extremely helpful, and like I said, because it knows exactly what kind of car you have based on the VIN, what kind of engine and everything, it gives you tailored and specific information that you absolutely need. So it's definitely something way better than other OBDII readers or just Googling it. If you Googling it something, you just get broad information, but this is definitely specific information to your car based on your VIN. So like I said, this is a crowdfunding project, Kickstarter that they started, and I'm very impressed with it, absolutely impressed with it, and they are going to keep improving it, so it's going to be even better. Can I recommend this? 100%. I'm giving this 5 stars out of 5, and I am going to make part 2 of this SPARQ reader, so stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Subscribe and thumbs up.